Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Kat, and today, as you've seen from the title, I'm coming at you guys with something slightly different. So as you can see, today I have in my hand the DJI Osmo SE. Now, if you recall, I don't know if you guys saw it, but in our last video, this is the gimbal we're using to shoot the car. So now, the reason why I feel so compelled to make a video like this is for two reasons. One, as you guys have kind of noticed, we're kind of starting off with the whole business thing and even this YouTube channel. And you know, this gimbal in itself has kind of helped us make leaps and bounds into, you know, this new, I want to say, this new profession we're stepping into. The DJI Osmo SE, to me, is one of the best budget options you can get, which would make starting so much easier. The second reason is because even in my own, you know, learning curve experience, there's very little, I could say, videos or information that I could find that really helped me kind of, you know, get the hang of the features and how to handle something like this. Most of it came from, you know, just trial and error, and I feel like for a lot of people out there, it becomes very difficult to kind of start something like this because, you know, one, lack of equipment, and two, just, you know, the learning curve is too steep. So you get demotivated and you decide to just stop. So today I decided I got you. So to start off, I just want to speak a bit on the setup. The gimbal is kind of semi set up, but the biggest thing you're gonna have to worry about is kind of the main piece of the gimbal, and then there's I want to say a tripod stand inside here. This is quite easy to set up, so this wouldn't really need an explanation, but essentially you just kind of screw it on, and then from there, if you need to take a shot of anything and you can't necessarily hold the gimbal, then you can easily open the legs and then set it down, and then that's you. So to turn on the gimbal, it's very simple. Kind of just open it, and then the gimbal is on, and then as you can see, right, you have the main control joystick, and then you have two buttons. The on button is technically the M. So M stands for mode, which you'll see later on when I actually show you like the different modes. Okay guys, so there is the side button that I've completely forgotten to show you. So, and it's actually quite a cool feature to the SE. So essentially, what the side button does is, if you move it up, it will zoom in to your video. If you move it down, it will zoom out. That's basically all it does, but it is quite an important feature. There's an app you get on your phone, and then that would kind of allow you to start using the different features. That's what I'm about to show you. Okay, so now that you kind of open the gimbal, it is off, right? And now I have my phone with me. So what you do is, it actually tells you how to actually like connect your phone to the gimbal. So it's this way up. So then I would just connect my phone, right? And now there really is no stabilization whatsoever because it's off. So now what's gonna happen is, when you turn it on, right, as you can see it's on, it self-stabilizes. Now that it's actually stabilized, so there's an app, right, DJI Mimo, which you'll download, and then that will help you with the whole stabilization and accessing the other features. So you'll tap into the app. Oh, I forgot one thing. To connect to the gimbal, you actually need to connect via Bluetooth. So you'll go to Bluetooth. Mine is already connected. Okay, now that you're connected to the gimbal, all you have to do is just go to the camera, and then it should show you the camera overlay, but this is connected to the gimbal. Now we're gonna kind of go into more of the features. So if you use the joystick, right, just like any joystick, you just kind of move it around, and the phone will kind of just move around, right? And then I will show you how to kind of reset the phone using the back trigger. To record a video, all you have to do is, you see this button with the red, or is it an orange dot? But that, simply all you do is you record, and then it will start recording your video, and then obviously you can kind of move it around and whatnot. Same thing for if you want to take a picture. So you just press on photo, just like you would if you opened your actual camera app, and then you'll take a photo. And now if you want to switch to your front camera, all you have to do is just press the bottom button. You press it once, and then it switches to that camera. If you hold the red button or the orange button, it'll take a burst shot. So it'll just kind of take as many as you need, as you can see, and then stop. Inside. Okay, so now if, for example, you wanted to shoot in a landscape, seeing as we are in portrait, all you have to do is double click, and then it will switch to portrait. And then obviously you can shoot whatever you need to shoot. And then if you need to go back, double tap, and then you're back. Before we actually move on to the back, because I was about to go show you the back trigger, I almost forgot one little feature. If you triple tap this bottom button, 1, 2, 3, it switches you to video automatically. So then if you want to switch back to photo, 1, 2, 3, and then you're back to photo mode. So essentially, because this works like a camera app, all your normal camera settings are here. Granted, obviously mine would be paired to the gimbal, which is not right now, but all your different modes and your dyno zoom, your hyperlapse, your time lapse, all these different modes you're able to access. As long as it's connected to the gimbal will be able to kind of work in that mode. Okay, so now I'm gonna focus on showing you the features of the trigger button at the back. But first, I just want to touch on the active tracking because that's a big feature for the SE. To activate the active tracking, sometimes it'll pick up your subject automatically, but if you need to do it manually, all you have to do is you'll draw on the screen and then it should pick up on your on your subject matter, right? So you should just see this green box and then you'll know that it's tracking your subject. If I hold the trigger button once, it'll allow me to move the gimbal in any direction, anyhow, and it will stay focused on my subject matter. So let's say now that you've been tracking your subject, and now let's say you found yourself and you were shooting something like this, right? And now you wanted to kind of remove the active tracking. You can easily do that from the screen. But now, as you can see, the phone kind of stays in this position. If you double tap the back trigger, it'll reset your phone. Okay, so now lastly, we're just gonna focus on the modes. So this whole time we've been on the follow mode, which if I just pick something to track, essentially wherever I go, it'll just follow. Essentially it keeps my x-axis the same, and then it just kind of follows wherever my subject is, right? So regardless of where I go, my x-axis stays the same, and then it will tilt the camera to that, right? So now if I press mode once, I move on now to my tilt locked. So as you can see, it says tilt locked. And what tilt lock does is once you've established your tilt, it will lock that tilt like that. So regardless of how you move your phone, the tilt stays the same. So it will always stay tilted. If, for example, I bring it up and the tilt is like that, it will stay the same coming down. Tilt, stays, 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 stays. So now we have FPV, right? This is the third mode out of 4. What FPV does is, however way I move my gimbal, it will follow my gimbal. Right? So for example, if I move my gimbal like this, the camera follows whichever movement I make with my gimbal, it will follow. Right? It's for more so the creative shots. And then your last mode is called spin shot. So now what spin shot is, all you do is you move the joystick and it will allow your gimbal to rotate, right? Granted, there is a limit to your movement, but then it will allow your gimbal to rotate. So for example, let's say I started off my video like this, right? And I wanted to zoom in. Now by holding the joystick and zooming in, I can create this wonderful shot. So that's basically all the features to the SE. Once again, the SE to me is one of the best, if not the best budget option to get, and DJI is obviously a great brand to get your gimbal from. Other than that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notice. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Till next time, love. Now imagine I had that as a blooper.